of donkey-assisted thievery.
Yeah, a harsh lesson learned, definitely. Okay, let's pivot completely now. Shift gears and head over to Guangzhou, China.
Right. A very different setting. This story takes place shortly after the start of the reform and opening up era, a time of just immense, rapid societal change in China.
And the narrator here grew up right in the middle of this.
Yes, living with parents and their grandmother in an apartment, but it was kind of on the edge of the city. And the grandmother, who had recently moved from the countryside, well, she held on to some of her rural habits,
Okay, like what?
like keeping a chicken coop in the hallway with a balcony.
In an apartment building, chickens and ducks.
Chickens and ducks, right there. Raised them herself.
Wow, that sounds pretty unconventional for city life, especially now.
It really does. And for the narrator, who was an only child, these animals became really important companions. The chickens, the ducks, there were turtles too, and cats.
So, like a little ecosystem in the hallway.
Sort of, yeah. The chickens and ducks especially became these close companions. They grew up right alongside the narrator. They'd apparently just hang out in the hallway while the narrator was doing homework.
That's actually quite sweet. They weren't just farm animals, then they were pets, really. Playmates.
Exactly. A really deep bond formed. Which makes you think, doesn't it? About how our environment, our culture, shapes how we even see animal companionship.
Definitely. But you mentioned that grandmother held on to her rural habits.
Of plural.
Ah, yes. There was another habit, a much more impactful one from the child's perspective.
Okay.
When those chickens and ducks got big enough, the ones that had been companions,
Yeah.
she would slaughter them for food, turning that close companion into a dish on the dinner table.
Oh, wow. That must have been a huge shock, as the source puts it, for the young boy. Imagine that realization. The creature you played with yesterday is, well, dinner tonight.
That's incredibly intense, a really stark lesson about life cycles, I suppose, and sustenance.
Absolutely. And about the very different ways human animal relationships can be viewed affection and utility side by side. It's profound.
Yeah. The source also mentions some other things, right? Like neighborhood boundaries.
Just briefly, yeah, touches on how, as kids, they only really played with classmates in their immediate neighborhood. And the sense of adventure in finding the vast expanse of farmland just beyond their urban edge, knowing exactly where those boundaries were.
Interesting. So, okay, we have these two incredibly vivid, very different stories Texas and Guangzhou. What happens when we bring them together? What are the big takeaways?
Well, let's start with companionship. Both stories kind of stretch that definition, don't they?
Yeah, they really do.
In Texas, you've got Ramon's donkey, Chago,
Mm,
a loyal, maybe, but definitely troublesome accomplice, a partner through sheer necessity, even when he's fighting it.
right. Not exactly a willing sidekick.
Not always. And then in Guangzhou, you have these cherished pets, the chickens and ducks, deeply part of the narrator's daily life,